All right, let's get you the very latest on this now. Bring in now SABC News International Desk Editor Sophie Mokoena, live to us via our telephone line from Brazil. And Sophie, you are in the president's vicinity. It comes as no surprise that he's reacted to what's been said here, given just how serious the claims are by Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi.
You are correct, Ayanda. And the technicality here is that due to the time difference, when the general was making that statement or delivering that statement and engaging with the media, it was too early in Brazil. And therefore, I'm told that it came as a surprise when they got to start connecting with South Africa, getting some hints on this issue. Because, you know, they are far, they are outside the country, there's no SABC News, there's no other broadcasters from South Africa where you can watch. But fortunately, with the advent of technology, they could follow up after they were being made aware on you know, we stream live these events. You can follow even, I've been watching SABC News Channel 404 from Brazil on my app, on my phone. So catching up, you then get a sense. And therefore, when he left the hotel in the morning, I wanted to ask him about that, but I was told that he hasn't gotten a proper briefing because he's rushing to the summit. And he will get information later in terms of what is happening. And then he will take a decision how to proceed with the matter. And he came back much earlier to the hotel, I think to Henry that it was around lunchtime, which was around 1. He didn't even go to lunch with the rest of the leaders. And he spent almost 3 or 4 hours at the hotel, talking to different people, getting a briefing from home here and all of that, and then issued a statement and then returned back to the summit. At that statement that I engaged Vincent about, where the president indicated that this is a matter of grave national concern and that it's receiving the highest priority attention because the issue has to do with the integrity of the country's security, and also they have to safeguard the rule of law and also affirm the work of the security cluster as an independent process that needs people or parties who are involved to exercise restraint. And then he indicated that he will outline the course of action when he arrives in the country. Now, the technicality here is unlike when there's an emergency in previous occasions and he had to fly back immediately because he's traveling with the Defense Force big plane that is in Kwazi. Today, or this time around, for the last past 3 international engagements, he has been using commercial. And therefore, with commercial, you can't direct an airline to fly now. So he has to go back from Rio to Sao Paulo on a commercial flight, from Sao Paulo then to South Africa in that SAA flight going back to South Africa. And therefore, it won't be as quick as they would have wanted the process to be in terms of traveling back home. But he will leave the summit much earlier so that he can be in a position to get early flight out of Rio to Sao Paulo and get that SA flight back to South Africa because he's traveling commercial and he will attend to this. But we are hoping to speak to him this morning, short indication of what he is going to do and where to from here, because this is a massive story.
Absolutely. And once again, just for context, it's only about 4:10 in the morning in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. So I imagine the president in some ways is still also gathering his thoughts. What's your sense, Sophie, about the extent to which this bombshell briefing, as I've been calling it all morning, has actually disrupted the president's plans whilst he was in Brazil? You know, the other official events that he would have been a part of?
You know, when the president is traveling, yes, he's attending the summit or the conference, but then he has to have some engagements with other leaders on the margins of the main event, what we call the bilaterals. There were no bilaterals because that afternoon, yesterday, lunchtime, instead of him having the bilaterals, he had to go back to his hotel to attend to this matter. So it clearly disrupted his plans. We didn't have a confirmation of the bilaterals, but it is a nature of these international trips because then you have an opportunity to speak one-on-one with other leaders on other issues. And then today, he has to leave that summit much earlier before a closing ceremony because he has to make sure that he doesn't miss a flight going back home. And therefore, traveling from Rio with a commercial flight to Sao Paulo, anything can happen. Your flight can be delayed. So you have to leave early to get the earliest flight to Sao Paulo so that you are able to get that SA flight traveling to flying back to the country. So it does affect your plans, but also that whole afternoon, when he left South Africa, probably he had lots of plans to utilize that time for other issues. Now, that lunchtime until 3 o'clock local time, he had to, which is 8 o'clock your local time in the evening, he was here at the hotel dealing with this issue. So you can see that it took his time and a part of his program.
All right, Sophie Mokoena is live to us there from Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. She, of course, is our international desk editor here in the SABC News Channel, helping us get a sense of the president's thinking in Brazil, whilst, of course, the story takes over headlines closer to home.